Ooh, Ninja Turtles. Yeah, was talking about them with friends and thought I'd watch it again. Isn't there an episode with some samurai bunny named Usagi? Isn't he a really cool side character? Oh, he's no side character. That's Miyamoto Usagi. He's the main character of a comic series that's been in production since 1984. Wait, what? He nearly had his own TV series in 94. Oh yeah, and there's a Netflix show in the works. How about that? Well, let me teach you something about our little rabbit friend here. I'm Kit Ulf. Join me as we follow the story of the rabbit ronin Usagi Yojimbo. So what is Usagi Yojimbo? Usagi Yojimbo is a comic series, solely created and owned by Stan Sakai. This series draws its inspiration from numerous sources, such as Kurosawa films, Japanese folklore and history, pop culture, and the real-world samurai Miyamoto Musashi. The comic follows the story of one Miyamoto Usagi. Once a samurai serving the great lord Mifune, Usagi becomes a ronin after his lord is cut down in battle. With the Edo period ushered in, Usagi wanders the lands, fighting bandits, righting wrongs, and attempting to find solace in the Musha Shugyo, or warrior's pilgrimage. Most of the time he wanders alone, but occasionally he meets up with friends like Gen the bounty hunter Rhinoceros, Tomoe the feline Onabushi, Sato Ino the blind swords pig. There's also this overarching plot of an evil noble attempting to assassinate and overthrow the shogun, and the murderous Jay, a wolf who believes it is his holy mission to cleanse the earth to make way for some new gods. So he's the main character of his own comic series? Well, Usagi was initially created to be a side character in another surprisingly furry comic series Stan Sakai created called The Adventures of Nilsson Groundthumper and Hermie. But Stan fell in love with this character and found it an excellent way to channel his love for the samurai movies he grew up watching, and thus the comic series was born. It was first published in 1984 in Albedo Anthropomorphics. Wait, wasn't that the name of one of those early fandom zines? Yep, Usagi Yojimbo's first publication was the OG furry fandom created independent magazine. Later it was published in Critters Anthology, produced by Fantagraphics. It was during this time that most of the reoccurring characters were established. Oh yeah, it was also during this time that an Usagi Yojimbo video game was released in 1988 for the Commodore 64. So, if he had his own comic series, and his own video game, why does he appear in the Ninja Turtles? Good question, Nostalgia. It actually started off as a collaborative work between the creators. In 1987, Stan wrote a couple of crossover stories that were published in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic. Eventually, Mirage Productions would publish Usagi Yojimbo comics until about the mid-90s when Dark Horse took over the publications. So this is why he shows up in the TV shows? Exactly. In nearly every iteration of the Ninja Turtles, Miyamoto Usagi shows up in one capacity or another. Some ways are definitely better than others. But didn't you say he nearly had his own series? Yeah, so in 1993, Stan Sakai wrote a space opera spin-off of Usagi Yojimbo called Space Usagi, which saw the recurring characters of Usagi Yojimbo getting a sci-fi makeover. Eventually, a pilot was created for the TV series, but it wasn't meant to be. Turns out the failure of another TV show featuring a certain green spacefaring bunny named Bucky O'Hare made toy companies, investors, a bit shy on what appeared to be just yet another rabbit show in space. It would be another 30 years before an Usagi Yojimbo series would see the light of day. Well, in the form of Netflix. Stan Sakai is going to be an executive producer on that, which is getting me excited. Knowing how his writing goes, this should be amazing. Awesome! Hey, let's watch the Usagi episodes while we wait. Well, sorry to say, but his first appearance is a bit rough and awful. Definitely the 2017 Ninja Turtles episodes are way better. I can make a whole video on how awful they are and compared to Stan's actual writing. If you really want to get into Usagi Yojimbo, I would recommend either reading the comics or watching the episodes that Stan Sakai actually worked on. So that's Usagi Yojimbo in a nutshell. Should I go on a deep dive comparison of the 1987 series episodes compared to the 2017 episodes? Let me know down below.